like I said, the raspberry and blueberries are coming in. I'm just checking them out on this trail. They got a few here. After I went for my ride the other day, I threw it in the car and drove on home, and 4 turkeys jumped across the road, walked across 4 gobblers. I got a video of them, but for some reason this file is corrupted, so I don't think at this time I'll be able to incorporate those into the movie or the video clip. They finally moved this whole log out of the way that's in the trail. Here's some right there. There's a whole bunch of berries. More here. To the left there, just all over the place. But they don't stay here long. The birds come in. I guess the deer and the other animals at night and gobble those things up. Which I don't blame them. It tastes great. The old mid-drive's still going, and I've been talking about pulling out, well, not pulling out, but getting out one of the rear hubs I got to drive. There goes a rabbit right there, just jumped across the trail. Mid hub to drive, didn't do it. 4th of July, I rode on the 4th, and later that evening, I got a lot of people around me. They let off illegal fireworks, which that doesn't bother me one bit. But this year I noticed something different. I would say the amount of fireworks going off was cut down by at least, say last year was 100%. We only got probably, I'd say 25%. I'll bet you it was down between 50 and 75%. It was down. Look at those berries. So everybody keeps talking about the economy's getting worse. I think it is, just from people not having the disposable income to buy the fireworks, or they didn't want to incur the expense and work slow down. So who knows? Interesting. Now these berries right there, I don't know if you can see it. They turn red and they're black, and when they turn black, or the bluish, real dark color, they're ripe. They can be eaten. More to the right. Oh, look at all this. They're all over the place. Now here they thin out. They're more, those berries are more in the rear of me. They're behind me. I'm back over to this one place I ride, because I ride here. It's close, real close to the house. Easy to get here. There goes a cardinal. Nice day. Very nice day. All to my right, there were some more. They came in here mowed, and they cut so close to the berries, it cut a lot of them back. I got it. It ghost shifts, ghost pedals shifts when I'm in my highest gear here. I've adjusted it and adjusted it. I just can't quite get that out. Of course, the pond is over there. Now when I'm riding right here, I had to take my right hand off the bar, grab this GoPro and twist it to the right. With that Insta 360 X3, it's my understanding you don't have to. You just go into the editing software and crop that, and you tell it, hey, look to the right, because it films a big like globe around you. It films everything. Up, down, left, right, any angle. It's a sphere, just like a miniature world around you. I think I might pick one of those up. Here's some more berries, I think, over here. Here comes a big truck. We're going to give him the right of way. Yes, sir. I guess I got some Porta Johns up here and empty them out. Look at all those berries right there. You see that? And they're smart. They're not really smart, but it's in their makeup. They don't all become ripe or bloom at one time. It's my understanding they do that because if it freezes or something happens, some of them will live to reproduce. Geese are back here. Forrest, a guy down there fishing. Looked at me like I was crazy talking to myself. But these goslings, they're gotten pretty big. They're almost full grown here. And here's a porta potty. I guess a guy in the truck just emptied it. It is a pretty day. The sun is intense, but the heat is not up yet. Yesterday, it was a scorcher. I'm not seeing any of the other riders in here. We got the Flash, the young kid that's real young, 21, 22. He enters these races, these mountain bike races, and always finishes in the top 10, he said. There's a woman in here that does 6 or 8 miles all the time on a bike. He's on a bike as well. I call her Wonder Woman. And then we got the rock jumper who rides a YT mountain bike, and I saw him filming and he was jumping over all these rocks. I'm sure he's putting on YouTube or whatever, but he was very, very good. The Flash guy, I don't know how good he is. He just rides, he just rolls, man. And the woman, she was in really good shape too. Pull 6 or 8 miles. At the other place where I saw her, really rocky there and hilly. Yeah, they're all, see, all over the place. There's a squirrel right there if you can see him. Hey, buddy. They just put this in. This little bridge had a little board across it. But this is in here now. I like that. Okay, let's right around the bottom of the pond. But I don't blame the people for not getting back out here. You know, we've been suffering through the Canadian wildfire, and now Michigan's on fire, a lot of it in the Upper Peninsula. That's a huge, huge, big area of land up there. And it's not really built up much. I've been up there 2 or 3, 4 or 5 times. And it's when I was younger, as a kid. Ooh, big bass or fish just jumped. was like going in another world. It was so wild up there in the Upper Peninsula. It's just totally different. And I'm sure it's grown up some since the last time I've been up there, but I will venture to say it's still very undeveloped. It gets really cold up there too, you know. More berries here to the right. We got pawpaw trees in here and American chestnuts, but the American chestnuts in this place, it seems like they get to a certain age and they die again. We used to have in the state all over in America chestnuts. People would have it as a staple of food, and I believe they call them the Chinese chestnut. Today I'm shooting on this thing, the GoPro Hero 11 Black, I guess it is, at 4K, and it's shooting, I think, 30 frames per second, and I'm not using the widest view, the furthest view. I'm using the second widest, the wide view, second one from the top. I've just been shooting in different aspect ratios, seeing what looks the best, or what I think looks the best. These kids come here and build this stuff. There goes a big crow right there. Yeah, he's flying. I scared him. There's two of them up there. There he is. I don't know if you're getting that. He's huge. Yeah, more kids building stuff. Excuse me. I say this every time I ride. I pretty much built this bike, but I got it on Marketplace, full suspension for $75. Looked immaculate. It's a Sidewinder DS. It's a coil spring in the middle, and I had a coil spring up front. I replaced out the front shocks with an air shock, just an economical air shock, you know, like 130, 20, 30, 50 bucks, something like that. And put on different brakes. It's a hybrid cable, and it goes down to the housing of the brake, and then that's hydraulic. Works okay, not as good as hydraulics, but so far it's been fine. And the coil spring on the center, or the rear coil spring, is still a coil spring. And it's got a tongsheng TZB, I believe 2B, the most newest one. It's really 500 watts, but they say if you use a 52 volt battery on it, it peaks out at like 750. So I got a 52 volt battery on here, 13 amp hour unit pack power, and put on a seat, and that's about it. I put on this one right here, this brake. This came with the kit, and when you pull it, it cuts the engine out. It's like a motorcycle clutch. It's just pretty cool. Yeah, they say you're supposed to shift this in, pull it in like a motorcycle. It kills the engine. You shift the gears, keep pedaling. When the gears lock, you disengage and keep going as you're pedaling. I've gotten real lazy about doing that. Half the time I don't even pull it in. But you can hear it click, click, click. The engine, now watch when I pull it in, see if you can hear it. Hold it in, 1, 2, 3. Hear that? I'm just pedaling now. Now I'm going to release it. And you hear the engine kick back on. think they got this trail here gated off. Let me see if they do. More berries. Let's see if they got this bad boy gated off. Now the gate's not shut today. I'm gonna ride it. The gate is open. We're gonna go through here. I've seen turkey through here, deer quite often. Shift down. I said earlier, it's hot. Gear up. And gear up a couple more gears here. More of those berries. They got mowed to the right. Just past them. I have no idea what these numbers and C, D, E, 3 and 4, 2, 3, 4 mean. Why they have those up, I have no clue. They just put this gate up this year and that other gate back there. And they occasionally close the trail off. So road off to the right here, but we'll be by that in just a second. I tried putting my camera on here, it's an Android camera, and it took a great picture or video when you were sitting still. Just, I thought, phenomenal for what I paid for it. But as soon as you put it on the bike or tried shooting with it when you were moving, forget about it. It's just too scrambled. Then I got the Casio Brave 7LE. I think I'm going to keep that. I was going to send it back, but I think I'm going to keep it just in case. And that thing, it's a real good camera too, like I've said numerous times, as long as you're sitting still or moving real slow. But when you get on a mountain bike and you ride down a trail, it kind of scrambles it up. So the GoPro is pretty good. I was wanting to go with the DJI, the Osmos 3 action cam, I believe they call it, but I couldn't find any in stock. And the GoPro was only like $400, $70 more. I said, nah, I'll just buy it. And the Insta 360 X3 really caught my eye. I think that'd be for what I do, riding and looking for animals and plants and stuff like I'm doing. But the knock on it was, the resolution, here's Mr. Ed right there. The knock on that one was, it doesn't shoot as high resolution. It's not as clear. Apparently the image stabilization on that thing is incredible. It's very good. But the one thing that kind of scared me away was that the lenses are prone to scratching very easily. And once you Once they scratch, you got to send it in to repair them or do it yourself. And I've seen a lot of reviews on YouTube that just say, hey, they just scratch. You lay it on its side, it scratches. So, you know, and that one was like 500 bucks. There's a bird, looks like a robin in the middle of the trail down there. So I kind of steered away from that because, like I said before, when I ride this thing, I'm not going quick most of the time, but I still lay it down on occasion. Go on a new trail, hit some big rocks, lay it down. You know, you're going around the corner and then there's horses coming the other way and you got to go off the trail, maybe lay it down. I don't want to have something for 2 months and then it be scratched. And the GoPro, all you got to do is, it's got a protection lens on there. You just click it off and buy a new one, relatively inexpensive, and click it off. You're good to go. So let me take a break here. Excuse me. Like I said, the smoke is still around. Not as bad today, but it's still here. From that Canadian wildfire. Apparently now some of our states too. Well, man, look at all those berries. Tons of them in there. Just tons and tons and tons. How you doing? Pretty good, pretty good. It's pretty lake there, ain't it?
Looks like it's pretty fishy.
Yeah, I think that was a rock quarry, right? And it filled up, yeah. Have you caught anything out of it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they want you in there, but you know, I'm sure people jump the fence on occasion. Yeah, I knew he was looking at there. He was too intent looking at the pond there. It's an old abandoned rock quarry filled up with water and they got it fenced off. No fishing, but he was eyeing it up. Stuff like that doesn't bother me if people jump the fence. I mean, as long as they don't hurt themselves or anyone else, what's the big deal? When I was a kid growing up, if I was here and I knew about that pond, I'd be all over that thing. All the kids I grew up with would be in there too, swimming. The times are different. I've only seen about 4 people jump that fence. I've actually seen. And they have a game warden come in here quite often. He walks it. No deer today, surprising, nothing. Groundhog, right in the middle of the trail if you can see him. Didn't even see me. Got right up on him. Not 10 foot away, maybe 12. Young one too. More berries right here. More berries over here. More berries. Still more. More on the right. As you can see all through here. More down there, just coming in. Done about 4.22 miles. Yeah, I try to ride with this thing on high or the next to, not turbo, but super, I believe it is, the next one down. Or the speed is the next one down. Or the second high. It's got 4 settings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's got 5. 1, 2, 3. Bouncing around so much. 1, 2, 3. It's got 4 settings on the LCD display right here. And I try to drive. A lot of times I ride in high all the way because it's been hot like crazy here lately, but normally I try to drive at speed or the one below that, but it's just been too hot here lately with too much smoke. Been leaving it in high. It still gives you a good workout. I just went one down. You can feel the increase, but it's not that much. It's mainly on the inclines or the hills where you really feel the difference. Yeah, more berries to the right. There's another pond off to the right here. One day I'll drive on down there. It always looks dirty, that pond. There's always got a film on it and pollen and like a slick sheen of, I guess, pollen and debris. And the water's never really clear like this other, the big lake. The water doesn't move in that one nearly as much as the bigger lake here or the rock quarry. Rock quarry looks real clear. Of course, that gets filled up with like well water. They went below and hit the table, water table, and filled it up. That's my understanding. See, like right here, this thing's making you work more when I got it down lower. Now if I lower it down again, you have to work more to get up the hill. That's one thing I've noticed about these cameras. When you're filming it, when you're riding it in person, those inclines are a lot steeper than what they look on film. Here's the pond. Yep. Birds are out in force today. .72. Heat's really starting to turn on. It's not that cloudy out. gear up a little, go down this hill. Yeah, so yeah, it's still reasonably early. It's not even 12 o'clock yet, but there's how many people did we pass on this trail? I passed one woman with 2 dogs and one dude looking at the rock quarry through the fence smoking a cigarette. And that's the only people I've seen. That I don't know. And this place, you know, with all the foliage on, not seeing a lot of deer, plus it's midday. But still, this place, in the fall, you come through here, you see quite a bit of deer. Gear down. Look at all these roots. Just gonna go right over. Last one kicked me up off the seat. And this is like my 8th or 9th ride on this thing, and I checked it the last ride I did the other day. Probably I didn't check it yet, but it was still at all fully charged bars. That's like, say 8 rides. And say I do probably average 5. Sometimes I go over, sometimes very seldom do I go under. Let's say 8 charges on it, 8 trips. That's 40 miles off this thing. Now, this ride probably, as soon as I said that, it's probably when I get off and check it, it's going to go down probably a bar. And I'm checking it on the battery. This right here, that's a false readout because I have a 52 volt battery on it. It'll overvolt the 52 and take it, but it doesn't give you an accurate reading on this thing. It's never given me an accurate reading. It's my understanding if you go with a 42 volt battery, this apparently will be correct. But I don't rely on any of these, on any of the bikes I have. I always check the battery, got a little button on there and a little LED lights up. Some of them have a LCD display that'll tell you the percentage. It's got like, you know, red bar, which means you're almost out, and you get your one bar's green, next bar green, third one green, stuff like that. The closer you get to the red, the less juice you have. Yeah, it is getting torturous hot out here. More berries. Let's go in here, see what we got going on. See? Did you hear that? Clunk clunk. It was a bad shift. It was me. Shifted too late. And this kit does not come with an auto cutout. Like on the Bafang, when you pull this clutch in, this brake, or when you go to shift the gears, it feels the tension in the line increase or decrease, and it just shut the engine off for a little while. There's a squirrel acting all nutty. It just shut the engine off for a little while and pause it, and it lets you shift. You gotta keep pedaling, of course, to shift through the gear. But that didn't come with the kit here. I think you can get a sensor input on here, but I don't know if you need it on this one. It's not like a Bafang with like 120 Newton meters of torque. This one's only got 80. I'm sure it wouldn't hurt it, but I don't think it needs it. Let's look down here. Now, a lot of times deer down here. when the leaves aren't in, you can see them. You can't see them now, but like I said, so far this mid-drive's been pretty good. And the reason you can even hear it now is because I hit that huge rock about a month or so back, and before then it just hummed. Wasn't annoying, just a low-level hum. And from the right-hand side, when you ride the bike, if you're looking at it from that side, your right hand, you can't even see the mid-drive on here. You cannot hardly even see it. The battery is the most noticeable thing. I think half the people I ride by don't even know it's an electric bike, but since I hit that rock and it makes more sound, I've noticed more people notice. More people notice. But as long as it goes, I'm going to keep riding it. And that was totally my fault. Lost control, popped up, and came down, I guess, perfect. And I wouldn't say it hit the mid-drive. I think it bent the little spindle inside where the sprocket is attached to the mid-drive, the gear sprocket. All right.